Hi, welcome to an Easy Trade Update. This is Kim speaking on Wednesday the 30th of January. Okay, looking at the euro dollar first, and this morning we've seen a continuation of the sort of the build up that we saw yesterday, and now we've run into at least one of my targets, which was the distance between this previous range, and that's run up quite nicely now, so that's been met. So that's not to say it won't go up further, but we are also at this sort of point of maybe a bit of resistance around here. We're at the upper band of this this regression channel, which, if it holds along with the monthly R2, may provide a bit of resistance. That said, we had quite a lot of buy stops earlier on as we were running up. There was certainly quite a few above the 135 area. And that's caused the sort of momentum to the upside this morning. There could be some further buying going on beyond this point. With little of the month left, sorry, I'm just using the wrong drawing tools here. Let's get rid of that. Alright, little of the month left. There's still possibility push higher. I mean, we're not out of the R. If we're pushing up towards the R3s, I'd be a bit more concerned and think, well, we may pull back within. At the moment, all these moves, the momentum's pretty strong to the upside. It's sort of started building again here, and we could push up further yet, which sort of suggests, well, where are we going to push to? And you just really need to come out a little bit and look at what's going on. Maybe even way back here, and we've pushed past these previous highs here, which may have been sort of reasonable targets. So we're now really next sort of key area is right up to the 144.40 area. In this respect, I'm just looking. There's nothing sort of obvious right at the moment. We had this sort of area consolidation around this area. That's probably an earlier sign of just above that 138 area, but certainly at one stage you wouldn't have thought we'd have got anywhere near these levels, but as we're seeing a continuation, that may provide a bit of resistance way up there. If we push on this march that we're seeing at the moment, if we look at a weekly chart, and we've had quite a few. Let me just bring this out a little bit now. We've had quite a few sort of positive weeks, but this overall bigger move that we've seen starting last July-ish time, still got some potential upside, and that pulls in towards this 138 area with a one-to-one move if it was to continue. Of course, this isn't a straight line, it's a big picture. What may happen here, this was a key area of sort of resistance at this level, so we can easily push up, as I say, towards this sort of, there's a resistance level around this sort of 138 area. That would, to me, would be the next major resistance point. Thereafter, the 1.4 and maybe the 141 area along this 1272. So at the moment, looking pretty bullish and with potential upside without significant resistance at these levels. Of course, as we're moving it through the day, it all can change. We've got a couple of key figures out today, and then as we move into Friday, we've got even more. We've got the non-farm payrolls themselves, but as we're looking at today, we've got the ADP non-farm payrolls, and we're also looking at the US GDP figures, which could bear on the euro one way or t'other quite significantly. So it's things to be watching out. Short term, as I say, we've got a bit of resistance around these levels. We've got a bit of divergence maybe kicking in at these levels on some of the time frames. Oops, no, that's not what I really wanted to do, but it'll do. 60-minute actually is just a little bit overbought on the 60-minute time frame up in this sort of area. If we end up at the end of this bar with this little hanging man, it could signify a little bit of downside, but certainly it's been a bit of a steep climb. Interesting point in terms of how it keeps on coming back to these previous sort of areas, these buy zones. It came back to the buy zone early, sort of 6 o'clock this morning, and triggered off, rallied, and kicked through these sort of this near-term resistance. We've seen a lot of this recently in terms of where you're getting buy zones, order zones sort of starting to appear, and the price reaction to them is pretty good, and normally with a good kicker. Okay, so that's the euro. Let's have a look at cable. And cable's coming to some sort of major points here, but let's just have a look on the daily point of view first. Yesterday we put this inside bar, and quite a nice bullish bar. We could get some continuation of this move. We've been quite oversold on the pound. It's been sort of given quite a kick in. It was below its monthly S3, which I would expect it to close above it in the normal terms. So quite a high probability of it closing above this level. Now, in terms of resistance, we really need to come down the time frames a little bit and look at the next sort of points of resistance. Obviously, we just kick it into the 34 moving average here, the 4 hourly 34. Then we've got the 4 hourly 50, which it may be attracted to, which are key points. And then as we come down the time frame, you can see we just banging on yesterday's highs here. We just managed to pip through it a little bit in the previous hour. If the momentum can continue through that we're seeing here, we could push up and head for that 200, which is equivalent to the 4 hourly 50, and that could be the next sort of targets. And then looking at sort of Friday's highs and so on. So the pound's got a potential bit of recovery here. So the key thing is whether this afternoon it can break through this sort of level of resistance, yesterday's highs, and actually make some mileage from that. But as I said, is the problem with it being in a descending channel, which as you can see it's broken out and tested a couple of times. But the problem with this sort of move that we've had such a strong move down, you come across, of course, all of the moving averages on the way back up. So every time you think you're going to get some mileage out of things, you run into resistance and get a counter reaction. But we'll see. Each of these, each time one of these is broken, it also ends up as support. So we can, as you can see with this 50, the 50 was broken. It was actually retested a couple of times here, but it broken, acted as resistance, pulled up, went through, came back, found support, etc. and it's tested a couple of times. Now, as I say, we're looking mildly bullish, but a lot can happen when the news comes out today and on Friday on here. From a daily perspective, we're not really in any point to is not a lot of significance in sort of looking too far out at the moment. This sort of level here, these previous lows here, may provide us a bit of resistance along with the upper band of this regression channel. In fact, yeah, it's on the right point. So that may find us a bit of resistance off that level, and it's quite quite typical to get towards the upper regression channels on these. Once we had a pullback, it's run towards the bottom, got back to the mid. It's not unusual to get back up towards the upper levels, so that could happen the next day or so. As I say, overall the cable's been sold off quite a bit. Euro-yen, Euro's benefit, obviously, the Euro-yen's benefited from two things. One, the weakness of the yen. We bring the yen up first, and you can see the yen's being sold off against the dollar some more. So it's shown general yen weakness. And the fact that euro's pushed up against the dollar as well, it's sort of getting a double whammy here. And there's some really good upside points generally with it. From a daily perspective, we've put this little pivot swing in. If it holds up, we could see some further upside running into the next few days. There's sort of some signs of divergences running in these bigger time frames, but as ever, I'm quite wary of them because they can continue. Price can continue to diverge as we're seeing here, and just push up, and you can be, before you know it, you're trying to play you're 100 pips down. So it's a case of waiting. Maybe taking some of the shorter term opportunities, but in the main, I'd rather be on the long side of the euro-yen as a short side. Again, one thing here, if we do get a pullback this afternoon or tomorrow towards this point here, could be a good buying zone for another potential shove upwards. So we've sort of got this zone here, which may work out quite well for a decent chunk, at least towards the previous highs here. May be a good sign. So that could give a good 100-150 pip sort of move coming out of that. So in all, the euro-yen looking bullish, euro looking bullish, but as I say, lots can happen with the news that's coming out this week. We've got key news out later on at 1:15 with the ADP non-farm payroll figures. They do have quite a bearing on the market. It's a guide to what we might see on Friday. Then the more important GDP figures coming out at 1:30. Now these are the advanced figures, so they're the first tester we'll see of the US growth for the final quarter. So quite a lot of significance on those, although there's two adjustments thereafter, and they can be quite sizable adjustments. Expectation is that it will be lower than the previous quarter, which was adjusted upwards to 3.1%. It was revised from 2% to 3.1% eventually, but we're expecting around about 1.1% growth in the final quarter. Now, if that was significantly below there, we could see a lot of the, I mean, we may see a move to safety, in which case the dollar may actually benefit from it adversely, as strangely as it may seem. Okay, as I say, Friday, big day with non-farm payrolls itself, so careful trading. We've had a good day in the room today. At the moment, I'm just sitting on my hands. No point giving any of the gains back by trying to overtrade once you've had a good morning. That's us. That's me for this morning. I hope you have a great week. Kevin will be back with some live trading, no doubt, on Friday. Bye for now.